Hello again, this is Robert Veach here. This is my video review of a Yamaha RX-V385. This is their 5.1-channel 4K Ultra HD audio video receiver with Bluetooth. Now this will produce 5 independent speaker outputs for a 5.1 surround and 1 subwoofer line level output that you can go to an amplified subwoofer. The maximum this will produce into an 8 ohm load is about 100 watts per channel with a 0.9% total harmonic distortion, but typically you're going to be using 70 watts RMS into 8 ohms with only a 0.09% total harmonic distortion, which is really low. Now this has, what's very important, it has an HDMI switch on there, a 4:1, and they call this 4K because it supports the HDCP 2.2 standard, which is a security copyright protection standard that's now on all the HDMI 4K cables and electronics. It also supports HDR contrast control, which is also important. It's on a lot of the streaming devices and Bluetooth players. Now this should support and handle the 60 frames per second at the 4K data rate, and it also should support pass-through so that you could use just this receiver to switch and pass through the signal right to your projector or your television. It has a YPAO audio automatic calibration technology tool. And included, you see right there, there is the little microphone that plugs into the front. We're going to be testing that out in my movie theater. It has decoding for Dolby True HD and DTS-HD and master audio decoding. HDMI switch supports Dolby Vision, hybrid, log gamma, and BT2020. These are all standards that you want it to support for switching your HDMI. The reason you need to switch HDMI is because a lot of people have multiple 4K sources now. Blu-ray player, a gaming console, a Comcast box or any other company's box, and a streaming box like Roku, which I'm going to be using. Now you see in front of you, it comes with your remote and batteries and that calibration microphone, and it has an FM antenna and an AM antenna. So I'm going to be setting this up in a movie theater, and I'm going to show you the connections, but now I'm going to show you the back of it. So here's the back of the amplifier, and here's the power. It has a USA plug on there. The manual shows a switch for the different voltages. This particular unit does not have that, so default is United States. So here's your speaker connections, positive and negative. You have your front right, front left of your front speakers. Then you have your front center right here. Then you have your surround right and your surround left. Then you have a little diagram right here. Surround left is the back speaker, a side speaker that is to your left as you're watching your television. Center is a speaker right in the front center. Then your front left and front right, and your surround right is the speaker to your right. Now when you put the wires on here, you want to cut the length of the wire to about 10 millimeters, and then you unscrew these and you put the wire in there and then turn these clockwise to tighten them. Now there is a whole discussion about impedance. If you have 6 ohm speakers, there is a method, there's a button you hold in front when you power the unit on, and you can change the impedance. It defaults to 8 ohms in the software. Now here's those very important HDMI inputs and the main HDMI output. So here's where you would connect your up to 4 4K or 1080p devices, HDMI right in here. Remember, if you're going to use 4K, have 4K compliant cables for everything, all 5 of these. So here's your AM antenna, FM antenna right there, and here's your subwoofer out right there. So here I am in the back of my home theater, and I have the Yamaha right here, and these are my speaker connections that I put for the front, center, and left and right back surround. And I carefully stripped the wire like they mentioned and spun it correctly and then tighten up the lugs on there, and I have it plugged into a power connection right there with a filter for safety and lightning protection. And then I have the main HDMI out going with a real thick cable, 4K cable to my projector. And then I have 1, 2, and 3. 1 going to a Comcast non-4K DVR, 1080p, and a Roku 4K player. And the other one is right there, which is to a Blu-ray DVD player. There's the HDMI right there. All neatly organized going into the amplifier. Okay, so I've got the Roku player set up and the Comcast box. And the amplifier is decoding all 3 HDMI inputs at 4K. And right now I've got my projector going. And this is my old projector. I'm going to be updating it to a 4K one. But it is working. So I'm going to do the YPAO to adjust and calibrate all the different sounds. And I've got the microphone included, set up on a tripod. And this is the average position. There's going to be seats back here that are different than these ones, but that's the average position. So we're going to start the program off. On my screen there is a start menu. So it tells you measurement starts and it has the countdown timer. So it did a series of sounds, as you heard, and on the screen it says measurement finished, result 5.1-Channel, 4.6, 11 feet. So it did a bunch of measurements and calibrations. Really cool. So what's my overall impression about the Yamaha RX-V385, the 5.1-channel 4K Ultra HD audio video receiver with Bluetooth? I like this device. I'm a big fan of Yamaha. I had another Yamaha amplifier prior to this one that I'm replacing, and that one still works. It just doesn't have the HDMI switch capability on there. So this is my new 4K switching amplifier. So I always like Yamaha products. I think they're very reliable and very well made. So this is no exception. This is a great product. I'm going to give this a full 5-star rating on my channel. Please remember to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you're alerted to new video uploads. And if you like this review, please hit the like button. I hope the information I presented helps you with all your buying decisions. Thank you for watching.